Over the last couple of weeks, the United States is grieved over yet another domestic terrorist attack. Another person inspired by ISIS, self-radicalized, going out and attacking their fellow citizens. It's a serious issue for us in the United States, and it's been a major threat that has been identified for a long time, the lone wolf. That individual that is an American, radicalized, and then attacking other Americans. Something for the last couple of weeks the Senate has actually debated pretty aggressively. There's been a twist off to be able to talk a lot about guns when really the main focus is terrorism, though there is a nexus also to guns in this as well. We don't want any individual who's a terrorist to be able to have any weapon to be able to attack other Americans. But we also have a United States Constitution that protects all of our Second Amendment rights, our Fifth Amendment rights, and every other. It's extremely important that whatever conversation that we have about terrorism and about guns, make sure that we honors every American citizen's rights that are protected in the Constitution, but also aggressively deals with people that mean to do us harm. Been a lot of different proposals that are floated, including one that I help author as well, that I push for some basic things. Before we had any conversation about anything dealing with guns, with any individual in their Second Amendment right, that there was due process. There are already 11 things right now that would prohibit a person from buying a gun. For instance, if they're a convicted felon, you can't buy a gun. This would add a 12th item to it, to say if you're a person that is known or suspected to be a terrorist, and that the United States government can actually stand up and show evidence for that before the fact, that would be a way to be able to also say this is a 12th item, because we don't want that individual to have a gun. But it's very important that it's not a matter of just denying people our right because they're on some secret list from the FBI. That's why this would be no different than any other restriction that's currently in law. It has to be adjudicated in a court, and it has to be done first. I don't want the FBI or the Attorney General to have some secret list somewhere that they can add names to that just deny people their constitutional rights and their Fifth Amendment rights of due process. There needs to be a way to be able to clearly protect every American and also protect our national security. That can be done. I've made proposals to do that. Others have made proposals as well. I've had some votes this week in the last couple of weeks that I voted for and some against. But the defining feature is every law-abiding citizen needs to be able to protect their Second Amendment rights. That's a key thing. And every person with any challenge needs to be able to have the right to due process. And that needs to happen first. We can do that. This is a common sense thing as we deal with a real international threat that has come to our shores. For whatever reason, this administration has not taken seriously the international threat of ISIS and radical Islam. Until that is addressed, we'll continue to have these threats coming to our home. So I challenge this administration to make sure that we take on the real threat of Islamic radical terrorism around the world, and that we stand firm for our constitutional rights. We can and we should do both.